Okay, let's take a look at PDM. So PDM has always been a really good way to share data about your files. Now these files pending approval, we actually need to make changes to them, so we're going to reject those. Now new in 2024 is the ability to check out a file while we're doing a state change. This saves a bunch of clicks and so can make you more efficient. Now those files have been returned to the work in progress state, we're going to open them up in SOLIDWORKS. Assembly visualization has been in SOLIDWORKS for a while and is a really good tool for showing what's going on with files in a really visual way. New in 2024 is the ability to link assembly visualization to PDM properties, either PDM environmental properties or properties that have been shared specifically for this purpose. These properties don't have to be shared with the files themselves, don't have to be mapped across, which makes it even better. As always, we can save this as a display state, and then I'm going to close assembly visualization, open up the display state, and then we're going to search for some design changes, helpfully named design change. So I'm going to unsuppress those and let the model rebuild. And now that's happened, we're going to return to the original display state, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and check those changes back in. And do a state change to release them for a new revision. Okay, we'll return back to Windows Explorer. The history dialog in 2024 has been improved. We now show checkouts as well as check-ins, which makes it a little bit easier to understand who's been doing what and when. I'm going to go and get an older version of my file, and this is so that I can show you the new version tab. So this has been improved. The top half shows the latest version and the bottom half shows you the local version. Makes it a little bit easier to understand what's going on. For users who use named bombs, in compare, hidden columns are now shown as deleted rather than just missing. And we can re-show those columns rather than having to do them one at a time, we can do them all at once. There's also an improvement where I can multi-select cells and then I can edit and populate them in one hit rather than having to do all those individually. And we'll just check those changes back in. On the Where Used and Contains tab, the security has been improved by not showing people things they don't have access to, and this is true for both table and treehouse view. In Web 2, we now support a grid view in both the file list and also the search results, which is a really nice improvement for those of you who love to look at your pictures. If I select this assembly and then I'm going to go to the Contains tab, if I scroll down once it loads, we can see a whole set of new icons for multi-body, sheet metal and weldment. These settings are true across all parts of PDM. I can also now go to any page for a file direct from the right click. And if I want to download a specific version of a file, I now have that option too. In the admin tool, it's now much easier to see who you're logged in as. And under licenses, we now have both license usage and server list. This means that people can see whether licenses are in use without having to have the permission to add a new license server. Under the SOLIDWORKS node, we also now have an assembly visualization, and this is where we can create a list of properties that are going to be available for people to use within the assembly visualization tool in SOLIDWORKS. And finally, within the workflows, rather than having files stuck in a corner, we can now use the archive function. This archive list can be turned on or off in the toolbar, and you can always drag files back out again, which is just a little bit neater.